shining the light on our community. And our community is Sacred You. That's sacredyou.love if you're looking for us on the internet. I'm Sue Rumack. I'm host of Life Force Activators, one of the many, many, many exciting tribes on Sacred You. And it is my absolute privilege to be interviewing Soulara Sevier on shining the light in our community today. Now, shining light on our community, in our Sacred You community, takes us deep into soul territory today. And I feel so privileged to be having this conversation. Soulara is a master navigator for unlocking our inner universes. And our topic today is navigating the universe within. Unlock your powerhouse to enjoy more ease, happiness, and flow. So, who is Soulara Sevier? What we know so far is that Soulara is an empath, an Usui Reiki master teacher and oracle, and founder of Soul Reiki Health and Beauty and Wellness. She supports the transformation, healing, and expansion of souls by empowering her clients to connect with their inner wisdom, embrace their enoughness. I love the way you said that, their enoughness, so that they can identify and leverage their unique abilities to embody and exude holistic wellness. So, coming back to our topic, and this is our topic, navigating the universe within. Unlock your powerhouse to enjoy more ease, happiness, and flow. Audience, think about that. So, Soulara, you say that the internal space of the human body contains not only physical aspects of matter itself, but also energy channels and magnetic chakras that co-create the reality that we experience. So could you tell us a little bit more about this magical subject?
Absolutely. And thank you so much for having me. Our Sacred You, Sue, thank you so much for spending this time with me so that I can share more about what I'm really passionate about, which of course is energy healing and holistic wellness. So to answer your question, oh my goodness, yes, the magnetic chakras, our energy channels are internal, and we are actually co-creating with our thoughts, with our feelings, and with our imagination. And if for some reason these energy centers are blocked due to trauma or just picking up other energies and not knowing how to clear them appropriately, you're unable to really manifest and create that reality that you desire. And so I have found that it's so imperative to make sure that you're clearing these energy centers throughout the day, every single day. And when you do that, you have more control over what you're thinking, how you're feeling, and then therefore what you're experiencing in your reality.
Oh, that's a beautiful explanation. So when did you first discover your ability to be this navigator? You're an empath, you're a Reiki master, you've got a lot going on. When did you first
I
realize you
do.
did this? You could do this.
Oh my goodness, Sue, I tell you, it's been a journey and will continue to be
Mm-hmm.
one as we know with life. But for me, I began my spiritual journey back in 2011. It was actually on the last day of December, it was December 31st at 11:30 p.m. And I was just at home and I just kind of had a little bit of an attitude because I felt like I should be out celebrating, 2012 is coming. And
Yeah.
so as I was pouting and laying down, I just sat upright and my computer was in front of me and I just started typing, or shall I say my hands started typing. And it was just I would say strange, but in the line of work that I'm in is actually not strange, but my fingers just kind of took over. And I started reading what my fingers were typing, and it was things like Reiki, incarnated angel, like all of these spiritual aspects. And I was amazed by what I was seeing and what was coming up. And I said, oh my goodness, like I've been on this journey and these words are interesting to me, though foreign, they're very interesting. And so I delved further into that and I found out that through memory, I said, I've actually been clairaudient. I remember hearing voices when I was a child that actually
Mm-hmm.
saved me from a couple of serious events and seeing things, as people say. I remember doing that. So I said, oh my goodness, I have all these things inside of me. I just never really thought about it. when you grow up, you go to college and, life takes over, you don't really, a lot of times you don't go in. And so though I had gone in, internally meditation as a child, growing up and going to college, I kind of separated just a little bit from that everyday connection. And so I would say I kind of knew about that as a child, but as I became the young adult, I kind of stepped away from that awareness. And then now at the stage of life that I'm in full awareness of that. So I would say it kind of began resurfacing back in 2012.
2012. So really, that was only about what, 11 years ago?
11. Yes. This number 11 is huge
Wow.
for me. It shows up
Me
everywhere.
too.
I'm
Me
really
too.
huge with numbers. Really? Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you know that the number 11 in Kabbalah, the number 11 signifies beginnings and endings. So you can choose to use that as a goalpost, a signpost of something is ending and now something is beginning. So it's to me, that's always so exciting. So your number 11, 2011, amazing.
Look at that. See?
Look at that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that. I think a lot of people go through experiences where they experience something similar to what you did, but they don't take it the next level, right? They don't move
Right.
beyond that. And then it comes up again and again and again, but they still don't take it anywhere. You took it somewhere. So I'm really glad that you did. What is the most, so you are also known to say that if you don't like what you're experiencing, and we were just talking about that a second ago,
Yes.
you have the power to change that by learning how to navigate the universe within. So what do you mean by navigate the universe within?
Oh my gosh, I'm getting chills just as I'm thinking about my response. And
Mm-hmm.
it really goes back to the Hermetic principle of as above, so below,
So below.
as within, so without. And that means that everything is connected, the heavens, us, our physical bodies, the earth, underneath the earth. And so I was doing some research a couple of weeks ago, and it really occurred to me these things, I call them downloads. And I said to myself, wait a second, we have these energy centers in our bodies, these chakras. Um, I bet, and they're spherical in nature. And I said, I bet that the planets are connected to this. This is kind of some of the things that I think about. So I started
Mm-hmm.
doing research and I said, oh my goodness, the major planets are in the body, in the chakra systems. I'm really huge on sound healing and solfeggio frequencies. And I knew that those were
Yeah.
connected to the chakras, but to
Yeah.
now add the planets to that, it's a universe. We have planets inside of our bodies that are connected to the chakras. And so each planet has a different meaning and a different energy. And so it coincides so well. And if we can learn what this means for us, if we're feeling we're having not enough clarity with our thoughts, what part of our chakra system deals with our mind and the moon and that frequency and meditation. So you can go inside and change what you're experiencing outside by knowing how to tap in. And that's what I do. I help you tap in and discover what's happening within your body, taking full responsibility for that, and making change where someone desires to do so.
Beautiful. And there's so many people that really don't have the direction. They want it, but they don't know where to go to get it. So as with so many of our hosts here at Sacred You, you're able to take people on that journey with you and teach them what they want to learn. Thank you. That is very powerful piece of information. Um, what's the most powerful tool you use yourself? And do you teach that to other people to be able to navigate this inner universe? So what's your most powerful tool that you use yourself, on yourself?
Absolutely. Yes, every single day on myself, I use Reiki. I am a
Mm,
Reiki master teacher, and it's my life. It's just something that I've embraced completely. I understand that there's nothing that I can do if I am not okay. And as an empath, we spoke about that a little bit earlier. I absorb
yeah.
energy from everywhere, the food, the environment, people, all kinds of things, animals. And so you can imagine going throughout my day, I'm just a sponge soaking it up. And if I do that on a regular basis, what space do I have left if I don't clear that? And so I have to clear that. And so I do Reiki every single day. It helps to clear and unblock my energy centers. It connects me to me so that I can make sure that I'm okay. Like, hey, these are my feelings. This is how I think. This is what I want to manifest. And if I don't do that, I have everyone else's energy bombarding me. And it's just, I'm not centered, I'm not balanced, and it's not my life that I'm creating. It's a hodgepodge of everyone else's life. So for
Right.
me, it's Reiki. And it's been a godsend. It was something that I heard in my mind at one point during my spiritual awakening that I shared earlier. And when I sat up and I started typing it in, on that last day of December, I said, even though in my mind, I had not been introduced to it, like my soul resonated with that. And I said, oh my goodness, this right here, I'm going to have to find out more about this right here. And so I did. It took me on a journey to the extent to where I realized this is what I'm here for. I'm here to help people. And I've always wanted to help people, but I did that in a previous career as a registered nurse. And so I knew
Mm.
that I had to come out of that, get on the front end of the, preventive measures of being well. And I said, oh my goodness, I'm here and I'm energetic. I'm an energetic being and I want to help people from an energetic perspective. And so here we are today.
Oh, beautiful. You've been telling us so many wonderful stories. Each one of them is a unique little nugget and really does inform our viewers about not just you, but also certain aspects of themselves, because I'm sure that they will see little pieces of themselves in each of the stories that you've just told us. But could you tell us a story, like a storyteller story,
Hmm.
that might surprise our viewers about this inner journey? Something
Hmm.
a little magical, a little unexpected.
Well, something comes to mind, and so this is Solara as a young child. And as I mentioned, I could always hear, but this was, I really believe, the first time that I heard a voice that told me to do something, and I did it, and it
Mhm.
literally saved me. So I was at the park. It was a neighborhood park. I was with my sisters, and it was Saturday morning, beautiful outside, nice and warm. We were playing in the sand, going up and down this silver slide that was kind of heated by the sun. So you get
Yeah.
to a certain point, and it's just kind of burns your leg. So you're like, ouch,
Yeah.
right? So I
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
remember going up and down, right? Going up and down the
I remember
slide. And
that.
so, right,
Yeah.
we happened to look at the entrance of the playground and we saw two young boys coming in. And I don't know if we were all on the same page, but when we looked, we had this feeling like, okay, it's time to go. Like they don't seem like they're
Mm.
coming to play with us. This seems like, okay, we might need to leave just for our own protection, if you will. We all kind of have that internal
Yep.
part that says,
Yep.
oh, okay, it's time to go. Playtime is over.
Yep.
So it was four of us, and so we kind of gathered up our shoes because we were playing in the sand. We started walking, had our shoes in our hand. We're coming up to the gate, and realized that one of my sisters didn't have her shoes. And so, three of us were like, oh my goodness, like, how could you leave your shoes? Like, because here the boys were, now they
Mm.
had kind of taken over the area. It was like, oh my goodness, you got to go back and get your shoes. And so, she went back and we just kind of turned inwardly and started chatting with each other. And for a minute, we kind of said, wait a second, like, she should have just gotten her shoes and come back. And so when we turned to see what was holding her up, she was being bullied. She was being bullied,
Oh my
at the
God.
playground. Yes. And so we ran over because there's that protective mechanism that comes into play. And
Yeah.
so, we grabbed her, she grabbed her shoes. And so our backs were to them as we started running. We found out very quickly that, okay, we probably want to just kind of walk away from this. Even though we
Mm.
outnumber them, we knew that this is not a good thing. So we ran. Here is the voice that said out of nowhere, jump.
Mm.
And I jumped up. Now, just imagine you're running, your back is to, whatever is behind you, and I just jumped. I didn't think about it. As I jumped up in the air, my head looked down and there was a bat that was spinning kind of on its side like a spiral.
Oh my God.
One of the boys had kind of thrown a bat, and I not jumped when the voice said jump, I would have gotten tripped up and
Mm.
fallen and possibly hurt myself pretty badly.
Yep.
And so it was just so interesting, and I said, oh my goodness, like, who was that? and I'm saying this as I'm running, And so we get
Yep.
home, and this is kind of where the the comic relief comes in. So we got, home, and so I'm getting, kind of angry. I'm the middle child, and so I don't know where, but I found like this karate suit. I'm telling you, black little karate suit that fit me perfectly, which I've never tried on before. Don't know where it came from. Had on these
Hmm.
little black ninja shoes. Found some nunchucks. I tell you, Sue. Found like these ninja stars. I don't know where to this
Where'd they
day
come from?
where this. I don't even know. Like I had an older
Oh my
brother, so
God.
I don't. I don't. I. It's just was so funny. I found these things, and I started getting dressed. I'm like getting ready to go to bed. I'm like, oh
Gonna
no,
go
I'm
battle.
going back. Yeah, kung fu fighting, right? And so, just right in the nick of time, I was at the door and I was going by myself. Like my siblings, my sisters were like, no, we're not going. But there was just something in me that's it's kind of that warrior spirit that I
Mm,
still possess today.
yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
wasn't
Yeah.
right. It wasn't right what they did to my sister. So I'm getting ready, I'm at the door. Here comes my older brother, and he's just like, no, I don't know where you're going with all of this on, but take it off. You're not going. So he put it into that. And so, I don't have a good story about, what would have happened had I gone there
Yeah.
with my nunchucks and all of that. But that story, though, it's not as, I say that it's magical because it was literally the first time that I actually heard a voice. I could see things, but that at that moment, I was probably like around 8 or 9, something like that.
Yeah.
And it was just like, oh, it was very clear. So I just wanted to share that started me to be an awareness that I could hear voices that were instructive and always
Yeah.
protective and gentle and kind.
And
Yeah.
that first knowing story that you just shared, also it also primed you to know that when you hear the voice, do what it says, because
Yes.
it's there for you, not for any other
Yes.
reason, but to protect you. It's interesting. My grandchildren and I had a conversation very late at night. The other night we were away for the weekend, and each one shared something similar to what not that kind of story, but just that awareness awakening. And again, they're around the ages of like 10, 11, 12, 13. It was really interesting to hear each one of them share their stories and take it back to we in our family are all empaths. And it was really
Oh,
interesting to hear how this is now moving on to the next generation. And each child has her first or his first awakening story. But this isn't about me or mine. This is about you.
but I
So
appreciate that, the
thank
just
you.
passing down that lineage of empath.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for
You
sharing
you you're
that.
very welcome. So this brings us back to that question. I mean, I just shared that in my family, we've got this lineage that's gone through I don't know how many generations. Um, but can anybody, in your opinion, can anybody do this? Have that empathic ability to, I call it read the wind, and protect themselves, protect other people, and then also move that into your navigating this inner journey.
Mhm. Beautiful question. And the answer is yes. We each have the potential to be able to tap in and to embrace our intuitiveness and use it to help ourselves and others. However, the caveat is, are the majority of people willing to do that? Right? Sometimes this sort of gift, some people may call it a curse, or something that they don't really want to go into. Maybe they were shamed for the gift, as they were children. I've talked to a
Mm,
couple of people to where they were empathic as a
yeah,
child or had other intuitive gifts,
yeah,
and they were told by their parent or grandparent, no, don't do that, or we don't do that here, that's against a religion or something like that. So
yeah.
they've kind of shunned it and are really kind of terrified, as far as going into that. So it's just by the word of possible or impossible. Yes, the word possible is there, right? So yes, it is possible. However, it takes a certain type of person who actually wants to walk that journey. I've walked the journey and still walking it and will, forever. Um,
Yeah.
but it takes a certain type of heart because you have to learn yourself. There's a lot of shadow work that you have to do as well, healing your own traumatic experiences so that you will know how to help other people. It's not just about, oh, let me help everyone else, and then I'll get to mine a little bit later. Quite often
Yeah.
we have to heal ourselves first, which is what I had to do. And again, we know, you and I know, Sue, that healing is lifelong. It's not like, oh, okay, I got to that point, check, I'm done,
Mhm.
because different things come up and we're like, oh my goodness, there's another level to this. Let me tap
Yeah.
in, let me clear this,
Yeah.
right? Because we're dealing with, time, space, dimensions, and realities and lifetimes. So
Yeah.
this is, spanning, you know, the Akashic, if you will, realm. So
Yeah. And as we talk about inner journeys and inner space and outer space and our not just outer space, but our
right,
surrounding space, right?
right.
Um, we do talk about permissions that we have to give ourselves. Just as you're saying, a person has to be ready to do the work, not just to kind of talk the talk. Um, and that's a little bit of commitment, but it's
Mhm.
such value. It's such valuable and so energizing and identifying to ourselves. It's really quite something.
Mhm.
Um, so let me ask you, um, legacy. This is a question I absolutely love. If you're going to plan a legacy that you want to leave behind, um, and you know what that legacy might be, what would that legacy be at this
Mm.
stage in your development, in your life,
Mhm.
in your work? Legacy. What do you want to leave?
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful question. When I think about the legacy that my mom and dad left for us, I really believe it had a lot to do with our gifts, our uniqueness that we have. You read earlier about my bio where I talk about embracing your enoughness. That's so important. We have to know who we are. We have to know how unique and how precious that we are, and that we are enough. It's not tied to outer validation. It's not tied to,
Yeah.
anything outside of ourselves. And the legacy is to know that you can co-create the reality that you desire. A lot of times we are taught to kind of forfeit that power, to bow our heads and give it away to something else outside of ourselves to do this for us. If I act good or if I do this, then, this will be done for me. And no, 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 no. Come into yourself. Come into the power that is within you. Activate that power. Clear those energy centers that need healing and create, create, create for the good of all. Everything that I do is for the good of all.
I think that goes along with your original career, which was nursing. When you
Yes,
think about it,
yes.
you took your first, you did your teething on nursing,
Right,
and
right.
right, and now you've moved
Mhm.
that to another level. Um,
Exactly.
So, I mean, we are 3/4 of the way through this wonderful conversation. And I want to give you an opportunity to let people know how they can, first of all, how they can reach you outside of Sacred You, how they can reach you inside of Sacred You. You don't have to worry about that. We will be putting that into the comments for you.
Yes.
But how can they reach you outside of Sacred You? And what are you offering them now? What do you have something special that you would like to invite our viewers to take advantage of?
Absolutely. And thank you again so much for just giving me this platform to share, because it's exciting for people to know that there are choices, that we have. No one is stuck, or, you don't have to live a life that you don't love. You should love the life that you live. So, as you
Mm.
mentioned, for Sacred You always share that information. But outside of that, on Instagram, Soul Reiki Health, Beauty, and Wellness. The same on Facebook. I have a link tree attached to both of those accounts that give further information to how you can register for a session with me. I do sessions here in Metro Atlanta, either in person or online. Right now, I am offering three different Reiki subscription levels, again, in person
Wow.
or online, because I found that, yes, I can do a one-off session, and that's okay. But again, healing is a journey. And so, a lot of times when we are clearing these energy centers and shifting things and shaking things up and, creating this avenue for wellness, other things come into play. And so, again,
Yeah.
these are things that have not been addressed for a very long time. And so, the client is going to need some assistance and guidance. And to just
Yeah.
do one session is a benefit, but there's more of a benefit when you can have a subscription. I was speaking with someone the other day and I was sharing that it's just like a gym for the soul. We wouldn't think of
Yeah.
signing up for a gym and going one time. We know that we have to keep going on a regular basis, to make
Right.
sure that we are advancing and becoming successful in whatever we are intending to do. So, in
So you're
addition, go
offering,
ahead.
oh, sorry, I was going to say, so you're offering
Uh-huh.
two different levels. People can either do a one of, kind of get to know
Hmm.
you,
Yes, yes.
or they can go deeper than that and create and um, purchase or talk to you about a series that's going to give them way
Yes.
more depth and healing and
Hmm.
knowledge. Sorry, I interrupted you,
Absolutely.
but go
Oh, no,
ahead.
no, no, you're fine, Sue. And to talk a little bit more about what I do as a Reiki master teacher, I teach others. I do certify for Reiki's level 1, 2, and 3. I
Hmm.
haven't quite yet initiated a Reiki master yet, but I am open to whoever is ready to advance to that level. I've had offerings that, I talk to clients and I'll say, well, what I do, and this is the oracle part that we didn't really touch on,
All
but what
right,
I
we didn't,
say in
did
the
we?
offering, yes, I know. Well, a little bit we did. We talked about just the hearing because that's part of, the downloads. But I add that into my Reiki sessions in this particular way. So as I'm in the energy centers, I can tune into information that is available. And again, this is for the good of all. These are daily action steps. They're practical. It can have anything to do with diet or exercise or journaling, like practical steps that my clients can take to get to that next level. And that kind of helps them continue on that journey of healing. So if I'm in, for instance, someone's root chakra and I'm helping to clear that, I might get insights into, something from their ancestry or something dealing with, the beginning stages of their life that they may want
Mhm.
to look at, something traumatic that happened. So I can see all kinds of things, sense them, hear them. And so I share that with the client after the actual Reiki session. So that's the bonus, if you will, of working with me. We go spiritual, we go physical for sure. And now I've added something if you're in Metro Atlanta, and if you're not, you can speak with me about that. But I add something now that deals with your physical health. And so it's called skin carotenoid testing. And that really checks for your
Hmm.
antioxidant level inside of your body just from the palm of your hand. So that's kind of that
Wow.
health, beauty, wellness aspect. I love that it's being offered because people get a chance to know their internal health. So there's quite a bit of offerings,
You
for
do.
wellness.
It's a very rich tapestry that you're providing to us on
Thank
so many
you.
levels. Now,
Thank you.
we're coming up on the last little bit of time. So if there was one question that I should have asked but didn't, what's that question that I should have
Mm,
asked? And could
wow.
you answer it for us?
Wow. So what's coming to mind pretty quickly is is it too late? Is it too late for
Wow,
me? Hmm.
brilliant
And I'm
question.
getting chills. Yeah. You know, during the middle phase of life, as they call it, some people think that, okay, I didn't make certain decisions getting into this point in my life. My children are now going off to college. Or if there were
Yeah,
no children that were born, they're in a career that they don't necessarily want to be in. They want to kind of elevate a little bit. There may be a sense of feeling trapped. There may be a sense of, oh, well, I've built a life around this. I'm stuck. Might as well keep going, right? And so that
yeah,
whole is it too late sort of comes from that. Like I have a client, and I just love seeing her journey. She was in a career that I could see that she wasn't happy. Like, again, this is the empath oracle part
Mhm.
of it. And I thank her to this day for allowing me to speak to her about it, because she didn't come to me. I actually went to her because I saw her, and I was just like, and I could see the real her. And I said to her, I said, I don't think you're doing what you want to do. Am I right? I said, it just seems like there's something that you want to pursue, but you've told, and I just started saying that you told yourself it was too late. Do you know, to this day, this young lady trusted me to literally come into her life and give her a step by step guide to get to her happy place? To this day, she is there. She is joyous beyond words. And, she had already had her children, and, they are in high school. So she could have been like, oh, well, I've had to
Yeah,
provide for them. Let me just, okay, my time has passed. A lot of times we tell ourselves that,
yeah.
we kind of beat up on ourselves and have different reasons. But I feel honored that she allowed me to come into her life and to show her step by step by step. It's not too late. Do this. Then she would come back and tell me, okay, we did this. And I say, okay, we'll do that. And I gave her a step by step. These are all practical because this is a career that she's talking about
Right.
here. And so to this day, like I said, she's so joyous and excited. And just to see her living her life as far as what she wanted to do, I'm super
Yeah.
excited. So that question would be, is it too late? The answer is no, it's never too late.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful answer. Well, I'm going to just take the next few minutes to, first of all, thank you for sharing so much about your journey and navigating the universe within. I'm going to remind people what our topic was before, as we started this conversation, shining the light on our community. Our topic is navigating the universe within. That's exactly what we've been talking about. We didn't deviate off of that at all. Unlocking your powerhouse to enjoy more ease, more happiness, and more flow. And you have taken us to that place and given us the bird's eye view of what that might look like. You've also given us ways to find you on the public on social media. Would you mind just repeating that the link where people could find you? I know there was one on. Give us the link tree if you could, because that'll
Okay,
give
the
us as
link
best you can.
tree. Okay, so the first part, of course, is going to be Linktree, and we'll make sure that we have this in the comments, everyone.
Yeah, yeah.
But you'll put your / and then it's Soul Reiki, Health, Beauty, Wellness, all together.
Soul, Reiki, health, beauty, wellness.
Beauty,
All
Wellness.
one long, that lovely
Yes,
one long breath.
yes, one link,
Okay.
yes.
All right. So we have been talking to Soulara Sevier. And we know that Soulara is an empath and a Sui Reiki master and teacher in Oracle. And she is the founder of Soul Reiki Health plus Beauty plus Wellness. Thank you so much for joining us, Solara. It's been an absolute pleasure and delight to take this little bit of time and get to know you better. And I'm looking forward to getting to know you a lot better. One empath to another empath. We do such different things and such, but not necessarily in such different ways. So I'm really looking forward to that conversation. I'm Sue Rumack. I'm the host of Life Force Activators at sacredyou.com, .love. And I'm also many other things, which you'll find on sacredyou.love if you're looking. I'd like to just remind everybody that coming up in the early part of October, sacredyou.love will be hosting Harmony Fest, which is our very first event that is going to be huge with masterclasses and courses and vendors, and it'll all be online. So if you'd like to find out more about that, you can find out more about that in our Facebook group. And if our wonderful guru that's hiding in the background, Sophia Soul, would like to pop in just to say a few words about that, I think we have 1 minute left. Are you there, Sophia? Oh, here she is. Yay. She's here.
Thank you, Sue. And yes, Harmony Fest is coming up in October in just 6 weeks' time. We will be having, as Sue was saying, lots and lots of online stall vendors. Anyone who's got any type of stall, any interest, any business, any passion in the spiritual, holistic, or well-being fields, you are so welcome to have an online stall. We will have masterclasses on all different topics. We've already got some wonderful masterclasses, and we have some online readers who are participating. So if you're interested in that, do let us know. Check it out on sacredyou.love. If you're interested in participating in it, do check out the website. And if you want to come and visit, which we hope many people will, then that will all be in our Facebook group in just 6 weeks' time. Harmony Fest. Yay. Thank you, Sue, and thank you so much, Soulara.
Thank you, Sophia and Sue. Thank you.
My pleasure. So we are an amazing group, sacredyou.love, and this has been highlighting one of our wonderful, brilliant hosts. Thank you so much.
Thank you.